Hey guys, Desolator Magic here with a hot story coming in from my home state of Wisconsin. The news story says it's from Ashwaubenon, which, yes, pretty much every city in Wisconsin is named something absolutely wacky like that, like Oconomowoc and Waukesha. I think that's the one where I went to with Jeremy, actually, from the Quartering. Yeah, we did an in-person collab at a gun show, because America, that's why. And in fact, the story does involve guns, because in Wisconsin, if you mess with the meow meow, you get the pew pew. Literally nothing in the story has to do with cats except for the thumbnail. So anyway, Ashwaubenon is where Lambeau Field is, and you're probably thinking, wait, what? Isn't it the Green Bay Packers? Yeah. Funny story, they're not from Green Bay. I'm not even convinced that Green Bay exists. I think it's all just the city of Ashwaubenon. Anyway, somewhere in Green Bay, the only thing I know in Green Bay is Lambeau Field, and I've been there a couple times. Oh, and we went to a super old dirty Chinese restaurant after a game one time. So hey, I've been to two places. But anyway, there's a hobby shop / gaming store in Ashwaubenon / Green Bay that's called, what do they call it? Frost Giant. I'm trying to read through the news story here. So it's Frost Giant Games, and this happened on Sunday, just last Sunday, like a couple days ago. Around 9:30 p.m., the internal camera sent a notification to the owner's phone saying, hey, movement detected. And by the way, those systems can get under $100. Like, you should seriously get one. They are this useful. So the business owner, Anthony Folk, says that he and two of his employees were just a couple blocks away getting some food at a restaurant. So I picture they jumped into a van like the A-team and just were like, let's go. Oh, slight little correction. It was the owner's fiance who texted him because she got the notification from the Nest surveillance camera. It's not clear whether or not she tapped into the live feed or not, but they wanted to check it out. So Folk then showed up and turned on all the lights to check for people, so I would assume neither of them pulled up a live feed then. I don't know, I know that Ring doorbells can do that. I don't know why Nest wouldn't be able to, I'm not that familiar. So when he got to a back hallway, he saw a person wearing a black hoodie and a backpack. That's your typical urban environment thief gear. I believe the backpack gives +3 inventory slots, and the black hoodie gives +2 to stealth checks. So naturally, he started chasing the person. Not real wise, but not out of the question if you haven't seen a weapon yet. By the way, check out the channel Active Self-Protection if you want, really good training with 100% real actual camera footage of, self-defense scenarios, break-ins, robberies, that kind of stuff. Excellent channel. Cannot recommend it enough. That's ASP, Active Self-Protection. I'd say the link's in the description, but we all know I'm going to forget. By the way, there is recorded video of this event. He's just not quite ready to release it yet for some reason. So the unnamed employee, one of them, went with him to check things out. And since he's a concealed carry permit holder, welcome to Wisconsin. 48th state to adopt permits like 4 years ago. Yes, I have one. So the armed employee waited outside while Folk searched the business, which that's a pretty good call legally. He probably learned about that in the class. You're not allowed to enter a potentially dangerous area with a gun unless you think somebody else is in immediate danger. Otherwise, you are legally obligated to stay outside and call the cops or flee from the area, which is, I don't love it, but it's smart. If you see, a broken door, broken window, and you jump in because I don't care, I got a gun, and then you shoot him, you are going to get in deep, deep, deep trouble. Because you had no reason to go inside other than, I want to stop the burglar or, shoot someone. Now, if you get home, somebody broke into your house, and your kids are upstairs, get your ass in the house. That is perfectly legal. So the suspect, I love how they're still calling him a suspect. Really? I'm going to call him the asshole. So the asshole was able to flee the building, and he started running towards his own vehicle that he had parked nearby to get away with. But the employee drew the gun on him and said, get down on the ground, you're under arrest. So basically a citizen's arrest, as Folk is calling it. Fun fact, just a little helpful tip for you. Not a word of that is legal in Wisconsin. We cannot detain anybody at all. There is no citizen's arrest in Wisconsin, which I think is BS. And you're not allowed to draw a gun on somebody who doesn't have a weapon except in really weird circumstances, this not being one of them. But all you have to do is, one, lie and say that you thought you saw a gun. He's wearing all black. I thought I saw a weapon. I thought I saw a knife. I thought, whatever. 9:30. It was dark. There you go. Or just sit back and relax because no district attorney in the damn country would try to charge somebody for this. Literally the victim of a break-in stayed outside, followed all the rules, and then used a gun to try to stop somebody from walking off with your property. Really? Remember, in America, it is 100% up to one individual person, the district attorney's discretion, whether or not to charge somebody with a crime, whether or not they have video of it plus an admission or police report with you admitting that you did something not quite legal. You just don't tend to charge victims, okay? That's just not something that DAs do, except liberal activist ones in California. So somewhat surprisingly, the guy got on the ground and said, "Don't shoot me." I guess you don't see that real often. I mean, smarter criminals know that even if it was a cop, which I'm sure he thought at the time, they're not going to shoot you just because you're fleeing if you don't have a weapon in your hand. Oh, unless you escaped prison custody, then they can shoot you, I think. Really weird laws in America. This is why I always carry a gun and pepper spray and usually a contact taser. Because, well, you're not allowed to shoot somebody who's fleeing with even up to $100,000 worth of your property, which I know in Texas it's like there's a limit, a couple thousand, you can shoot them, you can use lethal force. I'm not sure if I personally agree with that, but I get the logic of it. But you ever tried jogging with pepper spray on your face? Believe it or not, I have. You guys have seen the video on my second channel, right? I pulled it off, but that's because there is a very tiny amount. If you get a full blast OC spray to the face, you ain't going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere except to Flavor Town. I tell you, take out that pepper spray and put that stuff on your tacos. Whoa! Whoa, whoa! That train's pulling into Flavor Station. So police arrived within minutes because usually if you call 911, you're like, "I have the suspect at gunpoint." They're like, yeah, this could go bad in a hurry. So no, this is interesting. This thief is either really dumb or really smart. So $130 cash was found underneath a nearby car, but the employees found this out because they said they saw him taking the money out of his pocket and tossing it. Normally you would do that with drugs. And I know there's like thresholds where it goes from like petty theft to like burglary and then other terms. And, you know, some are misdemeanors, some are felonies. I would think 130 is below the limit. I think it's like 1,000 for the next tier up. But, I mean, you could say I wasn't the one who robbed it. I mean, they caught me on video and 2 witnesses saw me fleeing the scene and I'm wearing all black and a backpack, but I don't have any money on me. I didn't steal anything. I mean, that's a bit of a Hail Mary, but, I mean, that's more like trying to throw a Hail Mary after getting pepper sprayed, which, by the way, a lot of football references, American football, for all y'all not in America who watch my channel, which is a lot. Oh, and the Green Bay Packers are one of the best football teams in all of history. And I'm basically the biggest Packer fan on the planet. So is Jeremy. So believe it or not, the Schwabenon, or as I like to call it, Green Bay Public Safety, whatever that is, I don't know, some department of the police, I don't know, they applauded the employee's actions despite being horribly illegal. But hey, what are you going to do? In fact, Schwabenon Public Safety Captain Jody Crocker stated, "We're very satisfied with what happened. Probably that nobody got shot, nobody got hurt, and they recovered the stolen money." She, I assume, went on to say, "The situation here was that the burglar could have gotten away. The concealed carry holder did exactly what he should do." That is absolutely not true. This was a felony in progress. Once again, also not true. I mean, I'm going to go with them on this one. I assume I'm just missing a detail that would make it a felony. But breaking and entering on a business and stealing less than like 1,000, I don't think so. But the dude who held him at gunpoint also complied with officers as soon as they arrived and did everything right, except for pulling a gun on an unarmed person and making a citizen's arrest. None of which is legal in Wisconsin, but they're trying to cover for him, so kudos to you, Jody. Oh, for God's sake, she goes on to say, concealed carry holders are trained on how and when to use their weapons, and this outcome could not have gone better. Yes, the outcome could not have gone better because nobody got hurt or shot. But I guess she's also correct that we are trained for hours and hours and hours before getting our permits how and when to use our weapons. And we're not allowed to pull it on somebody who's just simply committing a crime if we haven't seen a weapon yet and they are threatening somebody. I guess she's secretly referencing the fact that the DA doesn't give a crap. Hell, I've pulled out my gun for less, though, this week. I ain't going into details because it's a big gray area. Let's just say morally I was in the right, legally debatable. But this asshole deserved it, all right? He was threatening me enough, in my opinion. It's been a hell of a week, let me just tell you that. So you want to get the best part of this story, and everybody from Wisconsin is going to type a comment as soon as I say this. Police identified the suspect publicly, so I can say his name now, as 31-year-old Eric Elm of Minnesota. Stupid Vikings fans coming over from Minnesota, land of the lakes, my ass. We have more lakes than they do. Coming over stealing our shit in Green Bay. Are you kidding me? Post comment. Yeah, we don't really like people from Minnesota here in Wisconsin, and we don't really like people from Illinois either. Their football teams are garbage, their football team's fans are garbage, and nobody from either of those states knows how to drive. So Mr. Eric Elm is being charged with burglary of a building or dwelling, theft, that seems oddly redundant, and obstructing an officer. Strangely not breaking and entering, unless that's what they call it in Wisconsin. I have no idea. By the way, all three of those I'm pretty sure aren't felonies. Oh, but he did cross state lines to do it. That might be the detail that I'm missing. But he didn't like commit a crime and then like take the property across state lines or try to sell it in another state. No transportation. He literally just traveled here. I don't know. You know what? Lock him up. Who cares? And then, because this is America, as they put it, formal charges have not been filed against Elm in Brown County. Why? Oh, gee, all they have is like an admission of guilt and video and multiple witnesses. Yeah, I could see why they wouldn't file charges yet. What the hell? Now, this makes even less sense. They're acting like he didn't get caught. They said, if anybody has information on Elm, please call the Ashwaubenon Public Safety at blah, blah, blah phone number. You can remain anonymous and whatever. What did they let him go? What do you mean additional information? Like, you have him in custody. You know his name and his age. You obviously pulled his ID. Do I need to tell you what I thought he was like in high school if I went to high school with him, which I didn't because Minnesota sucks? What are they going to character witnesses for burglary? What? I'm so confused right now. But anyway, some douchebag broke into a local gaming store, stole absolutely no product, and just broke into the cash register because he's apparently an idiot. Probably walked right past like thousands of dollars worth of cards. I mean, not every store has that. It's not like I've ever been here. He stole $130 out of the cash register and then tossed it while he got caught and then immediately got arrested. So good job, store owner. Now the only thing left to do is to put in a slightly wider front door so that the owner can fit his gigantic balls through the doorway. Hey, if I'm ever back in Green Bay for like a game or something, I'm stopping by this Frost Giant place or whatever, and I'm going to buy this guy. You thought I was going to say a drink. Hell no, I'm bringing him some cheese curds. This is Wisconsin. That's what you do. And then I'm going to roll in an aquarium full of alcohol because, like I said, this is Wisconsin. So pretty crazy story. I mean, wonderful outcome. And I'm kind of shocked, but not really, because most criminals are stupid, that he broke into a hobby store and didn't grab any of the expensive inventory. Now, like I said, for all I know, maybe Frost Giant just doesn't sell singles or something. I don't know. But, I mean, walk off with boxes of War of the Spark. I mean, that'd be a little hot to get rid of, but 130 cash, I would have started looking around personally. But maybe they caught him like when he got the cash drawer, but before he started looking at the inventory, and he just heard somebody come and lights turned on and he ran. I don't know, but either way, dumb criminal. So thanks for watching, and watch for the rare triple upload. Oh baby, a triple. I've already got the vid recorded. It's an update to the wonderful eBay situation, so stay tuned for that, or just hit subscribe, turn on notifications if you really don't want to miss it. And I will see you guys very shortly.